right, I have done eyeshadow tutorials with you guys before, but this one has a hack, especially for those of us with more mature skin who like a soft glam. Sometimes we like to glam it up, sometimes we like to dial it down a little bit. I've got a great eyeshadow eye hack for you. It's an eyeshadow hack for your eyes. Yeah, so you're gonna wanna stay tuned for that. We're gonna do a little bit of an eye tutorial and then we'll get to that hack because it's for this under eye part, and that's important. If we haven't met before, hi, I'm Jody. I'm 55. Think of me as your midlife beauty bestie. We can communicate down in the comments, so I love hearing from you guys and creating this community of women who are, you know, we're going through the aging process together. We're blessed to be going through this aging process, and I'm blessed to do it with all of you. But yeah, there are days when you look in the mirror and you're like, I didn't resemble my mom that much yesterday. Love my mom. I don't know that I'm ready to look like her fully, but you know what I'm saying? And sometimes you feel a little guilty for that. I know I do. My mom is still around. I feel very blessed for that. She does have dementia, so that's a whole nother thing. I won't go into all that. If any of you are struggling with that situation right now, I feel for you. You have my condolences. Big hugs to you because it's difficult, right? It's difficult when your mom doesn't really recognize you anymore, and it's just a weird, your brain is really confused by it. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. That's just not a topic that I want to share right now because I don't want to start crying because this is an eyeshadow video. Okay, let's get into it. Let's talk about what I do have on my face already. I already have on my lipstick, lip liner. I get asked about my combos a lot, so I'm getting better. Right? If you've watched me before, give me an applause in the comments. I'm getting better at sharing what lipstick lip liner combo I have on. Today, I have both MAC products. Strip Down is the liner and Blanketly is the lipstick. Good news, MAC, which was available at Ulta for a very long time, is also now available at Sephora. So that's great if you're a Sephora shopper or maybe you don't have Ulta in your area. You can now get MAC at Sephora. In terms of my complexion, I have Ulta Complexion Crush. This is in my favorite shade, medium neutral. And then I have Jane Iredale's Sugar Magnolia on my cheeks. And I have RMS Revitalize Concealer. And then I have the Rare Beauty highlighter, liquid highlighter. This is in the shade Enchant. You guys, you probably saw this in last week's video. This makes a fantastic holiday gift for someone. I think it's $27. It comes in a lot of different shades. This one, I really just think this is such a universally flattering shimmer because it would look good on lighter skin, it would look good on darker skin. I wear it right through here and then I'll just add a little bit of it sometimes in the center of my eye, and then sometimes I'll add a little bit just in the center of my lips. So you can do a lot with this. And Rare Beauty's packaging is phenomenal. And I feel like you get a lot of product for $27. I'll link all that stuff down below if you're looking for some holiday shopping. Today, we are going to do an eyeshadow look using the Morphe palettes. These are $15, 6 shades. Hard shell, which I love. Normally at a $15 price point, you get cardboard, and it's beautiful. It's just that these are really pretty pictures on the front. This is Rich Glitch. This is the one we're gonna use today. Love those shades. These are pretty highlighty, but not glittery, if you know what I mean. They just give a really nice, almost that wet look. The other two that I have, just point of comparison, you may wanna look at all of them. This one is Outer Space. There's Rich Glitch and Outer Space. Pretty, right? And then the third one, this is what it looks like on the outside. And the inside is Love Bite. This would actually look really pretty too with the sweater that I have on today. That color and that color. Also, if you have hazel eyes, these burgundy colors or darker green, stunning. But today I want to do a little bit different look because I want to get to that hack for the under eyes. So I am going to pick up Rich Glitch. I'm going to start with a large tapered fluffy brush. This is the N13 from the Nikki LaRose collection with BK Beauty. And I'm going to go into this Rich Glitch palette, and I'm going to go into this color right here. It's a pretty light color, just a shade darker than my skin tone and a little bit cool. Tap off the excess, and I'm just going to go one tap in that darker shade. Then I'm going to go in this outer corner and just really lightly. Now I have deep set eyes, but I'm starting to get a droopiness with this part of my eye. So I like to go with the darker shade up above on that droopiness. It just pulls it back and gives it almost a lifted look. It's an optical illusion. Eyeshadows are not lifting my eye lids. If so, I would own stock in every eyeshadow company. Now, I don't have hooded eyes. I get that comment a lot. I don't have hooded eyes, but I can give you some tips and techniques for those of you that do have hooded eyes that will give you a similar look to the look that I'm creating that day. Now, I want to leave a little bit of skin showing right at the high point of my eyebrow. That helps give a lifted look to the eye. I want that shadow to touch right at the inner corner of that eyeshadow and then just come on the inside of my nose. That just gives a little bit more depth to your eye and creates a little bit more area for you to open the eye with a lighter shade. But see the optical illusion that you get when you add a little bit of darker shadow just to the underbelly of that droop? It gives a more lifted look where it doesn't look like it's laying as low on my eyelid. You'll notice for this application, I'm holding my brush back at the end. When you hold it back here, you deposit less color because it's a lighter touch. You just get an easier look to work with, less deposit of color. You can always go back and get more. When you hold your brush up here, you naturally add more pressure, so you're putting more product on and you're pressing harder. There are some times when you're putting a look together that you want real close detailed work. This is not that. This is a light, airy, natural kind of a look. So less product, blended, go back and get more is the better approach. And it starts with holding your brush back here. So I'm gonna go back in, get those shades, and just get this eye done so we can make sure that they match. For a quick point of measure, you can use the tip of your brush to go from the corner of your eye to your eyebrow and keep your shadow in about that area. If you get a little bit past, no problem. You can always pull it back for a really pretty look. You can always grab your concealer and line it just like this if you feel like you've gotten too much and you want to tone it back a little bit. But I have not got there yet. Usually I do get a little carried away. I'm a big fan of Morphe's cream eyeshadows. This 6 palette for $15, also by Morphe, big fan. They are blendable. Look at how nice that color looks. I'm just super impressed with Morphe's return to the market. Now you guys, you might see there's a little piece of glitter here and a piece of glitter here. I made the mistake of picking up a piece of holiday decor this morning and trying to redo this back here so it feels a little more festive. And it was one of those glitter pieces from a couple years ago, and of course now I have it all over my face. Next I'm gonna pick up a flat paddle brush. This is the N24 from that same Nikki LaRose Volume 2 collection. I'm gonna go into this neutral color and just tap that on both sides. Now, if you have oily eyelids, you can spray this with a little bit of setting spray first and then apply the shadow, and it will help absorb some of that oil if you find that you get a patchy look or a lot of setting with your eyeshadow. Adding that little setting spray will help that. Using that same brush, I'm gonna apply the product on the tip and just line the brow, just to give it a more clean look. Something like that. Next, I'm gonna go in with a pencil brush. This is the N22. Holding the pencil also back here because we're going into a darker color. A lot of room for air with darker shades, and I don't wanna have to mess this up because those are harder to work with and much harder to correct. I'm gonna put that dark shade right on the tip of that pencil brush, tap off any excess. Then I'm gonna slightly and softly pull my eye out a little bit. We're not tugging, we're just slightly pulling it out, starting in that outer corner, going right on the lash line, and just creating a little bit of an eyeliner look, but only about the first third of the eyelash. I don't want to go all the way to the center, and I definitely don't want to bring that all the way in, and I'll show you why in just a second. We're just gonna lightly go to this outer corner. Like I said, about a third from your outer lashes in, and then softly smudge it out. You can kick out a little wing if you want. I'm always of the opinion of why not. Now here's the hack that I mentioned earlier. I'm gonna move the position of my hand to a little bit farther up on the brush because I want a little more control than a fluff or a blend, but I don't want so much pressure on it that I'm gonna hold it up to the front. So right about here, I think one of the reasons I like these brushes is not only are they great quality, but the way the handle is shaped, it's thinner in the back and gets thick as it gets closer to the bristles. And for somebody that's aware of the amount of pressure they want to hold on their brush, the ability to just feel that with your fingers as you're quickly getting ready makes eyeshadow work a lot easier. For me, I just find that I can feel where my hand position is because of the thickness or thinness of these handles. and it just makes the process a little bit easier. Here, this is right where it starts to get thick, so that's where I want to hold it. Get some right on the tip. Starting with that tip on the outer corner, not the inner corner. We want to start on the outer corner because where you place your brush with the product on it, the first place you place it, that's where the most product is going to be deposited. So we want to start back here because when our look is finished, we want it to be lighter and go darker. So dark starts out here, and then slightly pull it right at your lash line to the end of your lashes. You could go all the way to the inner corner. I personally don't like that look for an everyday look. If it's a glam look, I might do that. But if it's an everyday look, I like to just stop right at my lashes. And then I'll pull it to connect it to that little wing at the top if you did one. Okay, so let me do the other eye and then we will get started with this little hack. You guys, this made a big difference. Now I did it by kind of mistake. So if somebody has seen this in another video by somebody, I don't want to take credit for it. I just hadn't seen it and I did it, like I said, by mistake. And I'm like, well, that worked really well. Let me keep trying that and seeing if I like it or if it was just the whole look that I liked that day. But no, it was this little hack. Okay, so now that we have our under eye liner on and it looks a little dark, I like it to kind of match my brows. I just feel like it balances the face a little bit, but it overall is too dark. So I'm going to take that same pencil brush, I'm gonna clean it off, same hand position, go into that lighter color, you know, the one that we blended when we first did our crease, which here you really just want a color that's like 2 or 3 shades lighter than what you used for your under eye liner. Put that on top, and then I'm gonna go same thing, start in the outer corner, and just go right over that dark shade. Now what this does is 2 things. It gives dimension to that shadow, so it's not just the one shade. It gives some depth and dimension, which just is very, very appealing to the eye, but it also softens and lightens that look. So you can see the difference between where we've softened it. It gives a little bit of a blurring or a blowed out look compared to just one shade, which is a little harsher. And you guys, I'm telling you, this has just made the biggest difference on the way my eyes look. Now, professional makeup artists have probably known this and have done this for years, so this is probably nothing new. To me, it was new and I'm loving it. All right, so now that we've done that, I'm going to take a black eyeliner. You can use dark brown. This is the Urban Decay 24/7. I just want to darken the upper lashes a little bit. In the outer corner, I'm going to tight line. Just to give a little bit more dimension. This is a really pretty look for holiday events. If you have a holiday party at work, for example, neighbors are having an ugly sweater contest. Your sweater could be ugly, but your face could still be beautiful. Okay, now we could leave it here. Should we leave it here or should we go back in and play with one of these shimmer colors? See, I need to start doing live streams because this is the point where I would go, okay, you guys, what should we do? Should we keep playing with it? Should we stop? What do we think? I'm gonna pass. It's a pass. Oh, that's really hard for me, but I'm gonna pass. Just know that you can. Let me say this. If you don't want to pass, and why would you? It's the holidays, now it's time to be festive. Now, if you don't want to play it safe and you want to add a little pizzazz because you're going out that night or something, just grab a small smudge brush. This is the Nikki the Rose in 12. Spray it with a little bit of setting spray. Shake it so it gets a little bit of an air dry. You don't want it damp. Then go in with your shimmer on the side. And then just lightly either put it in the inner corner. You might want to put it right down the center to give a bigger look to your eyeball. It just gives a little bit more dimension. And one day put it on the inner corner and one day put it on the center. Play with it. It can't look wrong. That's the fun part about eyeshadow. Now I'm going to go in with some mascara. This is the Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extension. This is a tubing mascara, which I really love. I have it in the shade Crystal, I think. Is this Crystal? It's brown, which is what I like. Yes, Crystal. You'll see it's brown. You can wear black if you want. I just prefer not to as I've gotten older, and with the lighter blonde hair and the brown roots, I just feel like a dark brown looks a little better, less harsh. Now, if I was going out in the evening and it was going to be low lighting, like a holiday party, for example, I would go with a black eyeshadow just so that it really stood out. But that's if I'm wearing a fancy black dress and really glam. But if it's a more everyday or a party that you don't want to be full glam, maybe it's a cocktail party and not an evening black tie event, then I say dark brown looks good. But you guys, the thing about mascara and the thing about all makeup, it's really just a matter of what do you like, what works good for you. Funny story about mascara, I like the darker brown. I was at a Jane Iredale event back in August, and one of Jane Iredale's national makeup artists was doing my makeup, and I asked him, I said, what do you think about the difference between black and brown mascara? Do you prefer one over the other? And he said, no, he said, to me, there's no difference. Now, that's a professional makeup artist that does beautiful, stunning work, and his perspective was there wasn't a difference. I see it, and it's a big difference to me, so it just depends on what you see when you look in the mirror. All right, so that is a quick, easy eyeshadow look that you can play around with. And most important, you guys, pick up the eyeshadows that you already have. No need to go buy more. If you do want to look for a couple new eyeshadow palettes, you want to add something for your shopping for yourself or holidays, these I'm super impressed with. I like them so much. That's why I wanted to use it in this tutorial, so you could see the good color payout that you get. There's no fallout underneath my eyes. Just really good quality shadows for $15. And again, this one was Rich Glitch. I like that they're plastic. So there it is. All right, I need to go get my grays covered. Do you guys feel like this time of the year, everything gets out of control? If you're high maintenance, like I can be sometimes with covering my grays, getting my nails done, I just feel like it's just ramping up and you gotta squeeze in those appointments, or else come New Year, I'll be looking a little bit weathered. And I can't do that, right? Okay, that does it for me today, you guys. If you have not seen the holiday gift guide, if you're looking for gifts under $50, I will link that right here. And because everyone's budgets are all over the place for the holidays, I have a luxury edition of holiday gift giving coming out in just a couple days. So be sure to stay tuned for that. That does it for me today, you guys. Thanks so much for being here. Try this little hack. I think you'll be really impressed with the way it softened your look. As our skin and our facial features are maturing, a few things I've learned: a little bit of warmth to your brows, which I never used to do, a dark brown mascara, which I never used to do, and a darker and lighter two-toned underneath the eyes to just give that a little bit of dimension and lighten it up. Also, never used to do it. Just little things that we have to tweak along the way. I mean, we need more supported bras. It's a whole thing. But for right now, put the look together and feel good as you head out the door. I'll see you guys in just a couple days. Bye-bye.